Welcome. Sorry we're running a little bit late, everyone. Of course, that's my fault again. Anyway, but welcome to the Tuesday evening Power Hour podcast, Tennessee USA Wrestling. I am your host, State Chairman Mike Hatcher, and we have our co-host there, Kenya Sloan, new Tennessee resident, huh? Maybe.
Yeah, renewed. Maybe it's better.
Yeah. We got all moved in.
Oh, this is my first time being on here since I'm new.
This is it right here. First time
is.
being back in Tennessee.
Okay, yeah.
So yep, and I just went ahead and just got our guest in here right away. We started running with it, and I think what we'll do is Kenya's going to go ahead and walk the girls' side stuff, and then Bella, if you want to throw in anything, because from what Coach Boskin says. You got a big personality, so I figure you might be able to add a little bit because you were at the tournament that Kenya's going to go over, and I might just excuse myself and let you two ladies have at it. So, but we got a great program tonight. We got some great guests. Of course, Bella is on here. We're super excited about that. Her college commitment. She's going to talk to us a little bit about that. And we have Frank Popolizio, legend event runner on the men's side from a collegiate standpoint, runs a ton of events and is bringing this new event here to Nashville, Tennessee next month. So I'll have Frank on a little bit later in the program, but let's get things started here. Well, I mean, just Kenya, I always ask you what's going on in your world. We already told everybody you moved to Tennessee, but what else? Anything exciting?
Moved to Tennessee. Right now I'm in Florida, obviously. This is not my bedroom at home. But I'm doing some work. My mom has a business that's pretty mobile, and she needed someone to run this event in Florida. And I was like, I'll jump on a plane to Florida really fast, sure. So I'm here for this week. But back home in Knoxville, I've been in the Knoxville Catholic room, and that has been a joy to get to coach with some familiar faces and coach alongside people who taught me how to take my first high crotch. So that's very full circle to be able to now be on the other side with them. So. Yeah, doing some coaching, doing a little bit of traveling, and then I'll be back to coaching as soon as I get back home in 2 days. So,
Love it.
What's going on in the life of my catcher?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Nothing crazy.
Well, I mean, so those you didn't know, me and Kenya and her brother were going to go to the KISS concert on Friday. You probably didn't know that, Bella, but in Knoxville, Paul Stanley got sick with the flu. Had to cancel a couple shows in Canada and canceled the Knoxville one, so we were unable to attend that. That'd have been pretty cool. That'd been a lot of fun. So, cool. So I was just sitting around.
I missed out on the fun, but somebody else.
I know. I was just sitting around Sunday, said, you know what? I don't really feel like paying the premium price to go to MSG, but I think I can make the Chicago work. So yeah, I booked a ticket late night on Sunday and went to Chicago yesterday and saw one of my all-time favorite bands on their last tour ever and had an amazing time at the what an amazing show. And flew back today. so that's kind of how I roll.
Got on a plane, flew, landed, probably checked in, changed your clothes, went to the concert, came home, slept, woke up, and then got on another plane.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, it was probably a lot more enjoyable for my travels to being able to jump on a plane, fly up there, fly back. I was able to sleep in the plane today as compared to you driving a 3.5-hour trip to Knoxville would have been a little rough. So
that's true. That's true. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So it was good, but it's a little cold up there. It's a little too cold. That Chicago's it's a little cold for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. Tell you what, Kenya, let's get into your girls' side here. I've got a little bit from a little bit from the tournaments that you're going to be covering here from the guys' side. Mm-hmm. Not really much at all. I wanted to really give kind of Frank his time to him and help us promote this event. So take us away here. And you got Hollywood. Hollywood there helping you out right, cool. with a little stuff there. So go. What's going on the girls' side here?
Well, first let me introduce Bella. I feel like she needs an introductory before she starts pitching in. But Bella is on our show today mostly because she's got something to announce. Let's do that first. I mean, I think it might be slightly a little bit obvious, but Miss Bella Harris had some really big news this week. She made a big announcement, and we'd like her to also announce that news here with us. But Bella was an Ironman champion this past year. She's first of all, Bella's been wrestling for a year and a half. I feel like
What?
that should be noted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seriously?
Bella has been wrestling for a year and a half. So last year at the state tournament, she took 4th place. She won Ironman last year. She took 2nd at Midwest Nationals out in Indiana. And then most recently was our takedown in Tiara's champ this past weekend. She's a super smarty pants at school. She just moved to Tennessee from Los Angeles. Well, not just now, but she's not a native. But we'll claim her now, especially since she's done some pretty awesome things.
That's
and
right.
then, yes. And so she is like, I've only been wrestling just for this short amount of time and already have this much success. It's just like, it's a no wonder what you're going to be doing in the future. And in the future, you're going to be doing your thing at
William Penn University.
Hey!
William Penn. What? That's such an amazing program. I know like quite a few people who've gone through that program. Tell us a little bit about your commitment there. Like tell us about the recruiting process. What made you choose that school?
Well, I had originally gone to a camp over the summer before Fargo and met the girls and the coach and loved them. And I wasn't really looking at colleges yet, but when at the beginning of my senior year, I was this was my number 1 school, and I didn't think I was going to get in. But as soon as we got back from Midwest Nationals, I had got an acceptance letter in the mail. So it was really awesome. And then I texted the coach, Jake Cadle, and we set something up and went on a recruiting trip. And I ended up doing a little signing up there. And so hopefully we'll get to do one here in Cleveland. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That is so cool. So were you looking at some other programs, or were there other schools on your radar, or like that you had your heart set and narrowed down?
Well, I had my heart, that was my number 1 school, but there were a couple other colleges that I was talking to if William Penn didn't work out. So there was that.
Yes. Do you want to mention any other schools that you were considering?
There was Tiffin University, Doane, one in Nebraska.
Yeah.
And, I think that's about it.
Awesome. Yeah, I know those programs too. So you mentioned that whenever you went to this camp, you met the coaches and some of the girls on the team that you like knew right off the bat that it was kind of a place you wanted to be. Who were some of the girls that you met that you really connected with there? Do you remember?
Well, one of the girls is named Phoebe, and she played football in high school. And she was when I actually went to the recruitment trip, she actually remembered me from the camp and said hi. So that was really cool. And then I know Alex Glade wrestled there, so I thought that was incredible.
Yeah.
Who wrestled there?
Alex Glade.
Oh,
she's on our women's senior national team. She trains out in Oregon now, I think, right? She's with like Nate Engel and them.
So she graduated from there, and I've always really liked her. So that was cool.
Yeah, she's a great athlete, a great person to look up to. It's cool that you're getting to go. There are all these women's programs that are still kind of new, but then you've got a select few that have some of the idols in our sport that like went through these programs. So that's super cool that you're getting to have that experience. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll dive back into like some more of your wrestling journey a little bit. But
I want to hear a little bit about William Penn. I mean, a little bit more about that. I mean, like, press that program of yours, Bella. Like, I mean, you gotta. What attracted you to the actual school? I mean, what just give us a little bit of background and everything with William Penn.
Well, this isn't the reason. It's part of it. But my grandpa wrestled there.
Oh, wow.
What?
So I don't know what year, but he wrestled there lightweight for 4 years. And I love Iowa. And
there you go. See, that's what I was pressing you for.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Mike is from Iowa. He's in Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like,
okay.
My home state here. I mean, this is my home state. We got to bring that. The Iowa's got to pop out here somewhere.
Right.
So.
But when we went, it was like 2 weeks ago. It was cold and all the lights were up, and I thought it was gorgeous right around campus. And their girls' wrestling room is getting renovated, so it'll be done when I get there.
Do they have a separate room from the men there?
They do, and it looks a lot better.
That's
really?
I like that. But I'm really excited. They seem like they have a great program, a lot of really good girls. and I'm excited to get in and hopefully get some really good championships. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, good. I mean, like, well, you're going to enjoy it now until you get up there in December, January. You're in LA, and now a Tennessee girl, and you're going to be in the middle of Iowa and in December, January. Good luck with that one.
Yeah. Do you have any family out there in Iowa?
I don't.
No.
And yeah, that's part of the reason I'm going.
That's good.
It's really far, and I get to, grow up by myself, and I'm very excited for that experience. Of course, I'll miss everyone, but I'm excited to, become my own adult.
Yeah, that's a big part of going to college, I think.
Yeah.
So did your grandfather's wrestling career kind of, because you got into wrestling like late in your life and athletic career, you played other sports. So was your grandfather like kind of like an inspiration for you and a motivating factor for you want to try wrestling?
I actually hated wrestling.
Okay. Like a year and a half ago?
Yeah, like my dad wrestled as well in college.
Okay.
At IU, and then they moved to California, my mom and dad, to play sports at UCLA. But I thought it was the most I thought it was sweaty guys. I didn't any part of it. And then a year and a half ago, when we moved here, I didn't like anything. I was like, this is nothing like California. But I was forced to go to wrestling practice with all guys. I was the only girl. And I kept going. And then I went to my first tournament and did pretty good in a bright pink singlet that Boston hates. Yeah. But I just got good at it, and then I got obsessed with winning. So
right, don't
we
we
go.
But, I always liked boxing, but I thought wrestling was just something different. But now I'm like, that's all my life. Like, I'm so in love with it. So
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That is super awesome.
I tell you what, I mean, the girls wrestling and just women's wrestling in general in the state of Iowa was really growing.
Yeah.
I mean, did y'all see the Iowa's first women's match drew over 8,000 people?
Yeah.
8,000.
It was like record attendance from my understanding.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about there's a handful of men's teams that draw 8,000 people to a wrestling match.
Yeah.
I mean a handful. I mean, Iowa, Penn State, Ohio State. I don't know, maybe Missouri. There's not many. Let's just put it that way. And they drew 8,000 in their first dual meet. That's crazy. Yeah,
that is insane. It's unheard of.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, kind of gives them quite a unfair recruiting advantage.
Oh,
I mean,
a little bit, as if they didn't have an unfair advantage already.
What are we doing here? So it's pretty wild. 8,000.
So it'll be cool to be like in that state though, and a part of that culture where it's just because of what's happening in the state, it's going to be like. Yeah,
you're gonna feel a significant difference there. I mean, just the importance of wrestling in general. On the boys' side, and like I said, the girls' side's exploding. I mean, absolutely exploding there. Yeah, it's really exciting to see. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. So you said like one of the things that made you really love wrestling is that you loved winning, like you became addicted to winning. But you played, or at least just from us texting, you played a lot of sports before wrestling. And so did you give those up just so that you could stick with wrestling specifically? Like what made you love wrestling so much more than all the other sports you played?
Well, it's something about like the team, the individual thing. And it's just, I like fighting.
You like fighting? Are you an only, do you have siblings?
I have 3 younger brothers.
Okay.
There you go. Explains it.
So, but I mean, I wanted to focus on one sport, and I came to Cleveland and actually did a camp over summer with Boston, and it made my body hurt so bad, but I loved it, and I would never choose anything over it ever. So,
wow.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm so inspired by your love for the sport, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners are feeling the same. I mean, all of us are listening because we love wrestling.
Yeah.
So the fact that we get to like feel that we're like automatically connecting with you so much. Yeah. So that's super cool that you love it so much, and you've only
and that's huge, honestly, Bella. That you've only been wrestling for a year and a half. I mean, don't take that as something like your experience is going to affect you moving forward. That's actually probably going to help you.
I agree 100%.
You're like far from being burnt out. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
you're far from being
right
burnt
now.
out.
I mean, a lot of people, a lot of kids that start, so young.
Yeah.
It's such a grind. They start getting, when they start going to college, it's like, man, it starts to become a big time chore for them. And now with you're still gonna love coming to practice and love the whole grind of it. And
absolutely.
That's a big
and you're
point.
still like learning yourself as a wrestler and like your style and like to be able. I'm not to say that you don't have a good understanding now, but like you're kind of breaking there's these like phases I think we go through where we learn how to wrestle and then we learn how we wrestle. Like you learn how to wrestle and you learn your art and how to master it, and you're gonna get to spend like all of college and after that doing that. And I think that's super cool because a lot of us are already tired of doing that by the time we get to college. So that's super cool. All right, well, tell us a little bit. Let's dive into these. You're gonna be our co-host. I'll be the co-host. You'll be the co-host.
Okay.
We'll go over these girls tournaments that we had in Tennessee the last 2 weeks. Did you compete in the Blackman tournament also, or just the TR?
You did.
You did. Okay, so you can give us.
Yeah.
Neither of us were there, so I only have information that I found.
It's a tough preseason tournament every year.
Yes.
Yeah.
They say that's easily the toughest one in the state. It's tough.
And Mike, you'll be able to maybe compare. I don't know how many guys were at the tournament, but the number I was given was 96 girls competed at the Blackman preseason tournament, and I thought that was
there was a ton of guys. I honestly got tired of sifting through all the brackets.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, it was a lot. It was a lot.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, when you get these preseason tournaments, a lot of times they kind of just group them.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you got 40 different brackets, and it's really kind of difficult to see. When we start getting into the season here, it's gonna be a little bit easier. Obviously, just see the. Because they're in the weight classes, we got to analyze. Where here, I mean, we don't get enough time to analyze 50 brackets.
Oh yeah, so they did that on the girls' side of the time too, right, Bella?
Yes.
So did it offer you some competition that you normally don't see, since they were kind of like mixing and grouping like together?
Well, actually, all the girls I wrestled were girls I've wrestled before multiple times. So, but the brackets were very weird because Piper and I were in like the same weight area, but they had in two different brackets, and we were like the same experience. So that was a little weird, but
I'm sure it's really hard to group it. Yeah. But either way, just from a numbers perspective, I think it was really good that we were able to have, I mean, that many girls in a preseason tournament, even though I'm sure it made it that much harder to like do the grouping and stuff. I feel like it says a lot that we had that many girls showing up. So that's awesome. And then most recently, we had, I think this was Tennessee's probably first like girls tournament of the season, like normal season tournament. They had takedowns and tiaras, which was at Greenville High School. First of all, whoever named this tournament, I'm like, I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast, but I'm like torn between being in love and also kind of cringing because my heart is like
takedowns and tiaras.
Yeah.
What's a tiara?
Yeah, you went a tiara if you take first.
Oh, what's the tiara?
I liked it.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, come on, help us male listeners out here.
Yes.
And we do a number just clicked over. We're at 12. Bella, we don't get double digits very often. You must be.
It's Bella and her tiara.
We got 12. Yes. They missed us last week. Kenya, that's a thing. Everybody missed us. So now we've got more people tuning in.
They must have. I'm sure.
Okay, so explain this tiara thing to all us male people to.
Yeah, well, I guess I didn't think I would have to go this far back into detail, but we'll start at ground one for all of our men listening, because this is a wrestling podcast. A tiara, well, I say tiara. Do you say tiara?
I say tiara.
Okay, so tiara is like a princess crown. It's like a bejeweled, shiny, like princess crown that you like play dress up with as a kid, or you win if you're like Miss America or something like that. Yeah. Miss USA. And so
I can see where you'd have mixed reviews on that, Kenya. I can see that.
I get we're girls. We should be girls, but my tomboy heart is like, still, I think it's super cool. So we had takedowns and tiaras, which was at Greenville High School. The teams we had teams from all over the state in attendance, which I think is also a big deal. I think sometimes if we've got a tournament like Far East or Far West, and we'll have just one half of the state there. But we had, I guess I could list them. We had the following teams brought their girls. So Cleveland, Gibbs, Science Hill, Jefferson County, David Crockett, Bradley Central, Heritage, Knoxville Halls, Maryville, Daniel Boone, Cott County, Elizabethton, Bearden, Greenville, Sullivan East, Carnes, Westridge, and Volunteer. I don't think I went to any tournament in high school that had that many girls teams except for the state tournament. So this is so cool that we're like the first tournament of the season. We've got this many teams. So Cleveland, which is Bella's team, came in super strong. You guys brought 24 girls, which is like triple the amount of girls that the next team brought. I think so Cleveland took first place with 24 girls. Gibbs took second place. They had 8 girls. And then Science Hill came in third. So that's such a big deal that you guys even have that many people in your lineup that you could bring to this type of tournament. We will just hit some of the there was some matches that had interesting outcomes, but we will go in each one. So there were some awards that they awarded at the tournament. They awarded most pins in the shortest time, most pins in the shortest amount of time total, which was given to Trinity Roberts of Heritage. She had 5 pins in a little over 5 minutes. Cora Finstad from Gibbs, so another East Tennessean, was the most outstanding wrestler of the lower weights. Wow. And then they also gave an award to the most outstanding wrestler of the upper weights. And that went to, who did that go to, Bella?
Me, I got it.
It went to Bella Harris.
Where's she going with this?
Yeah, so super like perfect timing that Bella had the Super Bowl announcement, and then also
congratulations, Bella.
Yes, was awarded the most outstanding wrestler of the upper weight. So tell us a little bit about your bracket at this tournament.
Well, I went into this tournament knowing I was ranked number 1. And number 2 is Cricket Jones. And I knew I was going to see her at this tournament. So I had really focused that week on getting my weight down healthy and training for her. And I've been thinking about it. And so I knew she was going to be there. My first 2 matches were pretty easy. And she was my third. And it was a hard match. It ended up going my way. But it took a lot of motivation from Coach Boskin and yelling and, all that stuff. My second match was against a Maryville girl that I had last year at Sub-State. The match went a little longer than I would have liked, but I was not performing my best after the long match with Cricket.
I'm sure.
And then my finals match was against a girl from Science Hill. And all 6 minutes, I was able to pull out the win. I was down, I think, by the second period, 4-8. I almost got pinned. It was I gave up. I did. I lost motivation, but they didn't call the pin, so I was like, oh, well, now I have to fight up.
You're like, oh, God, if I have to finish this match, then I will win.
I did give up, and I got to work on that, but I ended up being able to listen to Coach Boskin and get my underhook, snap down, go behinds, and I actually caught her in a throw at the end and was able to just hold her for back points for the last 15-20 seconds. So
wow,
that was great. Yeah.
No, just from looking at some of the information I got from these brackets, I think you might have had one of the toughest brackets. And over half the girls in her bracket were state medalists from last year.
Wow.
So there was no easy route to the top of the podium.
No, there wasn't. My body still hurts.
What are you, the OW?
I'm sure.
Dang.
Yeah, but how much more rewarding whenever you really work your butt off for a win instead of just blowing your way through a tournament.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it felt good.
It was the most amazing experience.
Yeah. Had you and Cricket had a lot of history before in your competition?
No, I've actually never wrestled her before.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Piper had wrestled her last year, and so I was trying to get tips from her, but apparently that match ended a little early due to an injury.
Yeah.
But when I was wrestling her, it was I was really nervous. I was like, I know I'm first and she's second, and I just had to find a way to get out of my head. But halfway through the match, I was gassed. I was done. And I look to the crowd and I see all my team and Piper going you got this, you got this. And it gave me that extra energy to just get through. So it was a really great experience, and I hope to see her at state and be able to wrestle again.
Yeah. It sounds like that you really thrive off of like the energy and encouragement of the people
Yeah.
around you. And it makes it that much more important to have good people around you. And it sounds like you do. Like you've got an amazing corner.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your relationship with your coaching staff. You've mentioned your coach Boskin quite a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your guys' like coach athlete relationship.
Well, he actually has helped me a lot, mindset wise. I mean, wrestling, of course, I've learned like an incredible amount. He knows exactly what to say to me when I'm in a match or when I'm out of a match or before, or, you know, whatever I need, he knows exactly what to say. And he's helped me come a long way. And, you know, whatever I need, he's there. And, you know, whatever he needs, I'm there. And it's just a great relationship.
Yeah. That's awesome that you found that already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about your goals moving forward. I know, at least within the state, I've already seen like some few things on social media about the state tournament this year. Winning that sounds like it's kind of a big deal and high on the priority list.
Yes.
So, yeah, what goes in? Are you already in the back of your mind? Is everything leading up to the end of the year, the state tournament, or how's that working in your head?
Yeah, I'm so nervous for it. That's all I want is that state championship. And a lot of people, including my dad, say that like I've only been wrestling a short amount of time, so I might not win it or like do as good. And that's okay because I'm still learning, but I have such high expectations for this year that like that's just an excuse. Like I can practice, I can learn, like I can be where these girls are.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like this past weekend really showed that I'm really ready and I'm going to compete hard. And, you know, state is just, I'm really looking forward to it and hoping I get that win this year.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it too. You have a great mindset already. And obviously, just like what's shown from the little bit that you've already gotten to show us in the state, like you've got the skills and the determination. So we're super excited for you. So let's say long term after this high school season, you've got one last year, one last try at the state tournament, which mind you, most girls, most boys, most athletes get 4 tries at this and you're getting 2. So yeah, it's like, you got 1 try, which is your first year wrestling ever. And then this is your 2nd try and you already have high expectations. This is the type of athlete that we love to see coming from the state. So yeah, we're so proud of you and determination. So tell us more like long-term before you go. What are your kind of goals, like maybe postseason or going into your first year at William Penn? Do you already have anything on your mind?
Yes. I definitely want an All-American all 4 years. And definitely, hopefully, win. I mean, I want to win everything. And I just
you want to win everything. I love this goal. I want to see it written down. I want to win everything.
Love it.
You know, but like, and I know that's going to be a long journey and I love it. I love the sweating and the hard practices and the cutting weight and, you know, the hard matches. I love it all. And I'm really hoping I can get through that in college and I'm ready to just take on the world of wrestling and, you know, hopefully go to Worlds, the Olympics, just all of it.
You will. Oh, I love this passion so much.
Yeah.
Well, Bella, Tennessee is so happy to have gained you, and we are so proud to be sending you out representing our state. So thank you so much for joining us for a little bit. And we're crazy proud of you and everything you've been doing.
Yeah. Thanks, Hollywood. We really appreciate you. I'm not calling you Bella anymore. Kenny can call you Bella. I'm calling you Hollywood. Boskin texted me, said that's a I said, you know what? I don't go against Coach Boskin, and he's the man. I've known that dude for a long time, and you're super lucky to have a coach like that. He's awesome. So he told me to call you Hollywood. So that's how I'm. That's it right there. Done.
Yeah, Mike is like Bella.
No more Bella. That's out of my vocabulary. No, we appreciate your time, though, Bella. Thanks so much. So
thank you so much
for jumping on here, and like I said, like Kenya said, we're proud of you, and best of luck this season, and we'll talk soon.
All right, thank you.
Okay, take care now.
Bye.
Wow, what a great girl. That's awesome.
So such a joy. Yeah.
Year and a half of wrestling. That's crazy.
I know. Her like freshness and excitement for the sport.
Hated wrestling. Year and a half.
Really inspired me to talk to somebody. Yeah.
Hated wrestling. That's really, I mean, that's just, you know, strange for a high school kid to hate wrestling, you know, and then all of a sudden, boom, year and a half, they just turned around full circle. Yeah. Now little kids always, I mean, they like wrestling, then they hate wrestling, and then they
my whole life.
time to hash it out a little bit. But she I mean, she didn't hash it out. So, but no, like I said, but you cover the Blackman tournament a little bit. The guy's side was, I mean, there's just a ton of kids there. I mean, it's a big preseason tournament, probably the toughest one throughout the state. But like I said, I wanted to dedicate the guys portion of this program tonight to Frank Popolizio, who's we're going to get, and we'll get into this event, but I mean, man, we are so blessed to have this event, coming to Middle Tennessee. I can't wait for him to discuss it. He's been running events throughout the country for a number of years. So we'll pull him in here, and then he can kind of give us a little bit of background on himself too. And then him and I can chop it up about, how this all came about, and we'll go from there. How's that?
I've been curious about this actually. So.
Yeah. You probably saw the flyer, and then you're like, wait a second, how are these teams getting here? There he is, right there, my man Frank. Guys? How we doing?
Any better, I'd be you, Mike.
I love that answer.
Mike's always in a happy place. He's always positive and smiles and rock and roll.
I just saw a kiss on their last tour last night. Flew to Chicago.
How was it?
It was it's fantastic. I was talking to Frank on the way to the airport yesterday. I was like, listen, I'm sorry, man. I've got parked right now. I'm literally just hopped the flight to Chicago. I'm going to watch a Kiss concert.
Was it
around?
Was it as expected?
Oh, it's fantastic. It was unbelievable. I mean, the production was just, it was crazy. I mean, Paul Stanley's got he's got 70, I don't know, 70 years old. Dudes, they got him flying through the air, cables and stuff like this.
Oh my
stage, the fire blasting all over. It was wild. It was cool.
That's great.
It was awesome.
You're pretty fortunate to be able to experience that.
Yeah, it was great. But
Frank, I saw them about 20 years ago.
Yeah. This is my co-host, Kenya Sloan. We do this weekly podcast here for our Tennessee USA Wrestling organization, and highlighting anywhere from kids, coaches, events, anything throughout the state. And I know we got one coming right around the corner, man. That's huge. And that, and so for those of you guys don't know, Frank is the founder of Journeyman Wrestling Club. Is a wrestling club, but I mean, really, the big thing he sets up like these monster events. I mean, Journeyman Classic, he brings in a bunch of overseas teams in the spring for a freestyle Greco thing. I'll let him kind of go into a little bit about what Journeyman Wrestling is, and then we'll chop it up a little bit about how we got this National Collegiate Duals in Nashville. So take it away here, Frank.
Well, I'm excited to come over to Nashville and see you guys and bring some excellent talent to town. Not that you don't have talent, I know UTC does a good job with the scuffle, and they get some outstanding collegiate teams there. Mm-hmm. This will be a little different. We're talking high-end duels, duels that matter. It's there's a prize at stake, so the teams bring their top guns. There's nobody sitting out. There's nobody protecting anything. They're coming to town to win the prize. Mm-hmm. And so I think it adds a little bit to the ambiance, it adds a little bit to the allure. It's a real good product. It mm-hmm. has been over the last 2 years. This is year 3. And why not Nashville?
Absolutely. Right. That's what we like. Now, which 8 teams, remind the viewers here, which 8 teams are coming into town?
We have 2 different pools. We got 4 teams on day 1 and 4 different teams on day 2. They're operating independent of one another. So on day 1, we go off memory here. On day 1, we'll see Cornell. You'll see Iowa State. We'll see Pitt, and we'll see Little Rock. Mm-hmm. On day 2, we'll see NC State, Ohio State, UNI, and Lock Haven. Mm-hmm. So really good, and everyone wrestles everyone within their respective pool.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's really, I think, really intriguing about an event like this, and that me and Coach Simpson were so just adamant on jumping forward, man, and helping you out with anything logistically needed. Just because a lot of times, you see now, I mean, especially these Christmas tournaments, with the Midlands of the Scuffle, and even in Vegas, there's a couple, maybe NWCA teams or a D2 team or stuff like that thrown in there. And nothing against those programs, but the D1 kids don't have any benefit of wrestling those. I mean, it doesn't count against their postseason marks. So it's one of those things where, not saying that, I mean, wrestling's wrestling and it's great that they're in there, but at that same time, we got 8 like really high level Division I teams that are coming in here. Like you said, full strength, their lineup, their starters are going to see the starters versus their starters. And this is going to be really, really, really great wrestling in just in a small condensed arena. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And we're going from 2 p.m. and it'll probably wrap up probably about 7:30 time period. So you get, short period of time, you're going to get a lot of action.
Yeah.
A lot of action. And what better place than Nashville? I think it's I found the right group of people, especially Mike. He's got, all kidding aside, we're bringing that entertainment factor in, and the ability to connect with what Nashville offers into the wrestling community. So I think it'll be a fun experience. I really do. And look, the teams they want to go to new places. They want to go to different places. And so this is an opportunity for the teams to get a great experience, but it's also an opportunity for a community that may not have a tradition of seeing those upper tier teams on a regular basis in the town. And so hopefully we have this area embrace it. Yeah. And we're trying to get the word out. So,
yeah. Well, I just locked down our musical acts today. Steven's bringing up the Music City stuff. So basically, I might as well throw a shout out there for these guys as well, because they're honestly
absolutely.
But I've got a couple of the local country music stars here from the area. The first day is going to be a good friend of mine from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. His name's Tony Winkler. He's a country music singer here in Nashville. He actually wrote 3 country music songs about wrestling. One of them was about Dan Gable. One of them featured Mark Ironside back in the day. Oh yeah. So basically what'll happen on day one is maybe like a couple, whatever. He'll do a couple songs before the actual duel start. And then Frank's announcer will get going, blah, blah, blah. And then between the duels, he'll perform a couple of, like a song or two more. Between the next round of duels, he'll perform another song, and just kind of gives that country music era, or does country music aura.
This is more than just a wrestling tournament.
Oh, wait, listen, Kenya, the social part, put that on. That's on me. This is my area.
I like it.
Frank I don't know nothing about wrestling. Let Frank take care of the wrestling. I'll take care of the social. But then on the second day, though, Frank, I just locked him down today. Royce Alger will be in attendance.
Oh boy.
Yep, as you all know, and his son is a country music artist here in Nashville.
Yeah, his son does a pretty good job.
He performed the second day. Royce's son.
That's
Eli
outstanding.
Yep. So we have 2 not only country music, local country music stars here in Nashville that are going to be performing, but both have ties to wrestling. So it's really exciting.
That's perfect.
So I can't wait. So it's awesome. I know it was crazy because since I said moving to Middle Tennessee, I wanted to start. I had a couple of goals in mind. I obviously wanted to continue to kind of help move our USA Wrestling Federation, keep moving that forward and helping out the best I could. Want to start a wrestling club, and I wanted to start and I got that taken care of. We got our Young Guns Club. It's going really well. I wanted to start a 501c3 company or 501c3 entity to help fund, inner city kids clubs around here in the Middle Tennessee area. We got that taken care of. We got a really super strong board, and we're moving forward on that. And then I would love to bring a collegiate wrestling event here. So I was calling all the coaches that I know.
You're going to be retired. You get
I know. Well, and then I started calling around all the coaches, just kind of asking what they want. And they're like, dude, don't even try to think this on your own. Just call Frank. Just call Frank. So Frank and I just talked. I was like, chatted up. And hopefully we figure something out. And then he called me and said, hey, what do you think about, having the duels there in Nashville?
It's funny. When I started talking about Tennessee, every single person that I spoke to said, you need to talk to Mike Simpson and Chittum. Those were the 3 people that over and over and over were mentioned about coordinating with and working with. So
Yeah.
I think we got a good squad.
I think so too. I can't wait. I know that because Frank used to hold his events in big convention center. Like last year, it was in the New Orleans Convention
New Orleans,
Center? Yeah, the convention center, these big ones. And I said, I think we got the perfect venue for this. It's at Montgomery Bell Academy. It's a private school, and Frank's like, I mean, it's a high school. I mean, he had a lot of. I mean, because everybody, you take an event to high school. Okay, what do we got here? What kind of facility is this? And then we took him to NBA. Then we took him to NBA. Have you been to NBA yet, Kenya?
I've never been, no.
Holy cow.
Well, do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
you got to come in for
I think I found myself a perfect event to attend there.
Yeah. No, you got to come. Well, here's what we'll do. We'll do our podcast from there. We'll do it. It's a Tuesday night. It's Monday and Tuesday. There we go. Yep. Okay. Yeah. There we go. We got another person coming in for the event. There we go.
Love it.
Yeah. Love it. So how this National Collegiate Duals how'd this all come about? What was your whole brainstorming about this? You said this is year 3. So
well, actually, it was Martin Floriani from Rockfin was the came up with the idea of trying to get really the national duels going again. And he leaned on me saying, you have a relationship with a lot of these coaches. You probably be a good starting point to see if we can facilitate that, and you being the organizer. So we hit it running year 1. We had Penn State, Iowa. Those guys don't want to see each other during the year on top of seeing each other in the regular scheduled duels, and then in the Big Ten, and then at the NCAA championships. So that made it forced me to be creative, and how do we get people to participate, but also hear their wants and needs. And I get it. I mean, it seems redundant to wrestle the same people over and over again, and especially at a time in the year where it may not be needed. So this is what we came up with.
Yeah.
And we initially, some people didn't understand, why would you have 2 separate independent brackets? And they pushed back on that, but it's the closest we've gotten in a long time to having high-end dual meet competition with a progression championship element to it. So we're trying to honor their wants and needs, and this is the product that we got creative with and came up with, and it seems to be doing pretty well. It was a great event. I mean, every year for the last 2 years, the matches have been exceptional. Really tight duels.
Yeah.
Competitive.
Yeah, I remember watching them last year. I mean, because obviously, I was at Cal Poly for 3 years, and you had Cal Poly out at that last year.
They did pretty good. I mean, obviously they were, overmatched in a couple situations there, but they had guys that wrestled hard.
Oh yeah,
Did a good job.
No, absolutely. And I remember watching the whole tournament, obviously online, and it was a really cool event. I was really considering, I was strongly considering going to New Orleans to watch it last year. And I can't remember, I think I was someplace else, but I was definitely watching it, and it was a really cool event. The one in Florida, I mean, that was a really cool event too. Cause it was in the Panhandle in Florida the year before, correct?
Niceville. Yes.
Niceville. Yep.
An obscure, place, but it was pretty nice in Niceville.
Yeah. Well, I see where you're going there. I see you. Yep. Well, like I said, here's what our plan is. Our plan is to have everybody here in Nashville. We got 8 teams this year. Basically, how it's going to work out is, like Frank was saying, we got 4 teams competing on Saturday or on Monday. Another 4 teams competing on Tuesday. 3 rounds, 2 duels going on each side. I mean, if anybody who hasn't been to NBA's arena, man, they might want to just come and check it out, just because it is
so close. I mean, like up close and personal. What an environment for it.
Oh yeah. I mean, because that's where they have the private school state tournament here in Tennessee, and it's a great event. So we're gonna have 2 mats going on in this really great arena. Just with that gets a really, really good aura to it. That's literally 5 minutes from downtown Nashville. So I mean,
we got to be able to have that arena, feel that electric feeling, or at least the student athletes should feel that. And hopefully we can get, the teams, the high school teams and the youth teams to embrace it. I think it's a really cool experience. You see it, and essentially you can aspire to be it, you know.
Yep. Absolutely. And one of the things, I mean, for the listeners out there that are either on the podcast now or they're listening in the future, I just talked to Coach Simpson just the other day, yesterday, and we're gonna have a clinic. We're gonna do a little 2-hour camp on day 2 of the event. We'll have it. I mean, it's obviously NBA. Like again, Kenya, this facility is crazy. I mean, we could have literally the whole tournament going on at one time and have this camp, but we're not gonna do that. We'll have it in the morning so people can come out to the camp, participate in the camp, and
Great
then
idea.
stick around and watch the event in the afternoon. So it's and we'll have 2 very, very high end clinicians. Obviously we got 8 very, very high end teams. So we're gonna have a lot of people in town that are very, very capable of putting on a really good camp. And so, and we're going to price it very well so we can get, we can raise a little bit of money for our TNUSAW wrestling organization. And then at the same time, get some butts in the seats to stick around and watch some wrestling on that Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty excited about it. So it's pretty awesome.
It's a big deal. I mean, it's a big tournament.
And here's the thing. I mean, honestly, and I've been hearing this ever since. Well, now I've been back in Tennessee. I think this is my 4th year. And then I was here previously for 8 years. And every year, I mean, I've been hearing it for years. We need to work it. They need to have NCAAs in Nashville. They need to have NCAAs in Nashville. They need to have it. And I'm like, yeah, they do. But Nashville doesn't need wrestling. I'm just going to tell you that right now. They got plenty with the basketball. They got plenty with this. They got plenty with the Predators. They got plenty with all this stuff. Trust me. They don't need us. Well, here's the deal. I mean, the state of Tennessee, all you people that were telling me that we need to make a push at the NCAAs and having the NCAA tournament here in Nashville. Well, we better show up here to this one because
a lot of eyes will be on
Phillips Bridgestone Arena with fans, and we can't even support it from Tennessee perspective here. So we need to have some people. We need to support this from Tennessee.
That'd be great. I mean, I'm pushing now. I mean, we're trying to get the word out as best we can, and I think we're. I think I hit every coach in Tennessee yesterday, and the word is obviously getting out there that the big dogs are coming to town.
Yeah,
big dogs are coming to town.
Yeah, absolutely. So I put it on our social medias and stuff like that before. We've been pressing it. It's obviously our USA Wrestling organization is a sponsor for the event, so we'd love to. We feel it's a great opportunity to have 8 Division I colleges in there, in here in Nashville, and our organization's behind it 100%. Obviously, from a financial standpoint, and just any type of promotion we can do. So we're excited.
We wouldn't have been able to do it without the help that you've provided and attaching us to those sponsors. It's a huge undertaking, and I think when we first talked, even to go through it all, it may not be as obvious as it is, that it's a lot of work, and it will be a lot of work coming up to it. But it's also, there's a financial element to it that you got to hit everything to make this a reality. Right. So thank you.
Yeah, no, of course.
It's been great.
Yeah,
and I'm excited for it. This is the one event that I do. We do a lot of individual tournaments, and they're difficult because our bracketing is unique, and we did our Collegiate Classic in November. But when you have duels, and once that thing starts, you can sit back and enjoy the duels. It's pretty self-sufficient.
Yep.
And I'm going to be anxious to watch some of these matchups.
Oh, we got some, and that's actually my next step with helping in the promotion, and people be expected to see it on our social media sites here for our Tennessee USA Wrestling. But I'm going to put together, some makeshift, some possible matchups, some probable matchups that are going to happen in the 2 days of the event, and there's a lot of good ones. I mean,
you got Ohio State and NC State.
Yeah,
are they 2 and 3 right now, or 2 and 4?
Yeah.
That's a huge match. Cornell and Iowa State.
Huge match. Yeah.
You got Lockhaven and NC State. You got Noto and Camacho.
I know.
Was one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Camacho now is 1.
Yep.
So you're talking even individually. Some of these matchups will be It'll be incredible.
Yep. And we also have some Tennessee kids that are going to be represented in here too. I mean, hopefully Ashton Davis from Cleveland, he wrestles for Cornell. We had him on the podcast. Hopefully he's a heavyweight coming in. Cody Chittum, obviously, wrestles at Iowa State right now. I mean, he's the guy in the Iowa State lineup right now. Had a real close match with the number 2 guy in the country the other night.
Boy, was that a fraction of a second.
I don't know, man. I'm a Hawkeye through and through, but
I'm just saying,
no comment here. No comment here. They might gonna watch that one again.
Oh, yeah, it was tight.
Man, but he's going to definitely make some noise there. Javier Maldonado actually graduated UTC, wrestled for Coach Brands at UTC. Now he's at Little Rock as a head assistant. So we got some Tennessee ties coming into town.
Tennessee homecoming.
Yep. So it's gonna be a good time. So like I said, man, we're so pleased and so blessed to have like a guy like you, have enough confidence, enough faith to bring an event like this here. And we're not planning on letting it go. We want this to be an annual thing where we want to host this, and we want to make sure that everybody gets behind it here in the state of Tennessee and make this just the National Collegiate Duals is going to be in Nashville every year, and we'd love to have that. So we really appreciate everything that you do for not only this, bringing this event into town and bringing it to our great state here, but also just everything you do in wrestling just in general. I mean, you have a huge impact, nationwide, and we're very, very fortunate that you're putting on these events and just giving the sport the exposure that it needs. So we really appreciate you. Yeah. All right. Ken, you got anything else from my man Frank here?
No, I'm so excited to hang out with you guys in Nashville now.
I'm going to see you at the academy over there.
Absolutely. There we go. Absolutely. Yep. She'll be there. Frank, we appreciate your time tonight, my man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for including me.
Absolutely, my man. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah, he's good man. He's it's
so how did you guys know each other before you
I didn't know him. I knew so the Popolizio, so his brother is a head coach at North Carolina State.
Okay.
The Popolizio family has, they've got a huge name in just the sport of wrestling in general. So he's been doing these events for quite a while. The Journeyman Classic, the Fall Classic is always a really tough tournament, and he actually has a really tough high school one. So he's known for all these events. But I mapped it out. I wanted to do a club here when I first came here.
Yeah, you've said this to me before, actually. These things.
And I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm going to make sure I make the most out of it. So I'm going to do the club. Now I want to do this 501c3 to help out. I have a big, passion for, doing that type of stuff. The 501c3, inner city type of stuff. I have a big passion for that. So got that, and then I wanted to bring a coaching event, or not a coaching event, but a college event here to Middle Tennessee. Whether it had been 4 teams, I don't care. I mean, a dual meet in whatever, a gym, I don't care. Two, really, really big time Division I teams. And so like all my friends at Division I level, between Coach Cerritos, Bono, Coach Roby at Virginia Tech. Oh, and just talk to Frank. He's the guy. So
and then everyone's telling him just get to my
yeah. So then I called him. He's like, hey, John Deagle, who's a teammate of mine, and he's a good buddy of his up in New York. And so we just started chopping up because we had so many common friends, and our initial conversation, we were just kind of talking and just kind of, I shouldn't say feeling each other out, but just kind of seeing what, if there's a working relationship there for one, and then just having to do the right event. It's because that's really what it is. I mean, it's crazy because everybody wants to bring an event to Nashville. That's always like, okay, well, we should have it in Nashville. Oh, we should have it in Nashville. It's central. It's whatever. Everybody wants to come to Nashville. Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. But finding a facility here in the greater Nashville area.
Oh, I'm sure it costs a fortune.
Extremely difficult. It's very difficult. So unless you want to pay premium dollars, it's not like having it in another area of Tennessee. I mean, Nashville is Nashville, and it's very expensive. So we're just fortunate enough, that when he approached me with this idea, said we needed 2 mats, and I was like, shoot, we got to get to NBA. we got to figure it out. So luckily, Philip Simpson, he's Patrick Simpson, they're all over at NBA, and they're obviously big wrestling people, and they were all over it. I said, yeah, let's do it. So we're just,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
the stars aligned.
I mean, it all just kind of came together. And like I said, Frank came, because he came in, obviously he's very thorough and he wants to come in see the facility. I kept telling him, I said, Frank, you'll not be disappointed. Trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
And he came in and he was just like, okay, we're going to need this. We're going to need that. And Simpson's dad was like, just hold on. We're not done the tour yet. So he's taking him into this room,
But he was already sold.
And he's like, well, we're going to need a warm-up area. He's like, I haven't even showed you the wrestling room yet. And for anybody that's been to the NBA, they got this monster wrestling room that literally has four full-size mats in it. It's huge with bleachers and everything.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess this is going to work.
Wow. Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. But yeah, again, it's going to be a really cool event. We have, so it's just kind of lining everything out for those of you that want to get tickets. And I should have had this. I really need Frank for this, but go to journeymanwrestling.com, journeymanwrestling.com. It's the first thing that pops up on the website because it's the next event coming up. You buy your tickets there. There's a team discounted ticket also. I think for teams with like 10 or more or something like that. So those
What's the date of the event?
Dates are the 18th and 19th of December. That's the dates. 18th and 19th. The 18th is a Monday, and the Tuesday is the next day with the 4 teams. So it's 14. But if this is what I would do if I were everybody, I would come in on Monday.
If you were everybody.
Everybody in Tennessee. Why you would miss this, I have no idea, unless you're gone or if you're a wrestling fan, or if you have any allegiance or any ties to wrestling whatsoever, and you're not at this event. I mean, come on, are you serious? You come in because the wrestling doesn't start till 2:00 in the afternoon on Monday, so you can easily come in on Monday. Watch all the wrestling. The wrestling is going to last about 6 hours. Stay in Nashville that night. You got another day of the duels the next day and out. There's teams right now that are coming in. They're like, I know Christian Brothers, they're bringing their team in on Sunday. We're going to get some training in with my young guns kids and theirs. They're going to stay Sunday night, go to the duels on Monday, stay Monday night, go to the duels on Tuesday, probably do some training stuff with them in the morning before the wrestling starts, because the wrestling doesn't start till 2:00.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good.
And everyone's on Christmas break already. So
everyone's on Christmas break. I mean, shoot, come on, Tennessee. But
so
on Sunday night, if people are interested in this, of course, it's obviously got to be 21 and over crowd. But I've got a pre-party going on for the fans and the supporters for the first 4 teams. It'll be on Sunday night, the night before their 4 teams compete. So we'll do that, and I'll have another social on the Monday night for the fans and the followers that are coming in for Tuesdays duels. So
we got live music from your.
Oh, they'll have the place the venue I've got. They've got a live music. I think they're either going to bring a DJ in or bring a live performer in. But we got live music during the actual event, like live music.
This is so cool. I've never been to a wrestling tournament with live music. Is this
you know what?
A true Nashville experience?
Exactly, and that's what we got to do. And like I said, I know I hit it on a little bit when Frank was on here, but if I had a nickel for everybody that told me that we needed to have the NCAA, the Division I tournament here in Nashville, I'd be multimillionaire. Everybody says, "Oh, nationals." We can have nationals, and you got to get a group together, and you get work on getting nationals there. You get a group together. It's like, yeah, I get it, but now, okay, so here we go. We got 8 Division I teams coming in, so let's rally behind this event and then make sure that people understand that we're serious. Because if we bring 8 high-end Division I teams here, and we literally only sell out 25% of the arena at NBA,
it'll never happen.
What's that tell? Seriously. So now it's time to put our effort where our mouth is, from a Tennessee wrestling perspective. If people want things like this to happen in Tennessee and they want opportunities here, they have to make it a point to get there and to support this event. And that's from the kids level on up. The kids levels, we're going to have a lot of their heroes here in town. Just looking at the coaching staffs, alone, you're going to have Tom Ryan, who's one of the top coaches in the Division I level from Ohio State. His staff, you got a world champion in Logan Stieber, national champion in Jaggers. Iowa State, you got Brent Metcalf, who's one of the biggest names in college wrestling back in his day. Obviously, Kevin Dresser, is their head coach and one of the most popular head coaches out there. We got a Tennessee boy right there with Cody Chittum. NC State, like I said, Pat Popolizio is one of the best coaches out there right now at the Division I level. Cornell, Yanni Dakabahalis probably will be there at some point in time. He's part of the Cornell staff. I think Terrell's part of their staff. We have a world champion that's coming in that's wrestling for him right now, Vito Arujá, who's we've got. I mean, the star power is going to be there. I mean, for people not to be there, it would be is going to be insane to me. So, like I said, any youngster, any high school kid, any coaches, anybody that has an interest in wrestling should, without question, be here.
I agree. Even if your loyalty to wrestling is just sitting on your couch and watching wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan and not a wrestler, like, this is the ultimate thing. And I feel like this will bring a lot of people from outside of the state too. People come to Tennessee for one reason, and that's Nashville. So
it's it right there.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why we're putting together these, the pre parties and stuff like that for the people. We just make it. I've got a whole hospitality committee. I've literally got one. I've got one person in charge of each one of the teams from a hospitality standpoint. So I'm like, I guess I'm the hospitality coordinator. Shocker. But so I've got one person that knows the Nashville area like the back of their hand. That's, knows just everything with the grocery stores, whether it's, places for fans to go eat and go and hang out in Broadway or go to this place and ask for so-and-so, that's kind of like always been my gig. So I've got one of my people in charge of each one of the 8 teams to make sure that they're
and it makes it an experience for the athletes too.
Make sure they're taken care of when they get here. That's what we're looking. That's what we're for. That's what we're all about. So
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Well, there we go. We got another one in attendance. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's right. I don't have to work on that. We'll have to take a look at the schedule and see if we can do our podcast live. Maybe we can.
That would be so cool. And we could drag on some of our Tennessee people that are going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have some Tennessee people on there, and we'll just kind of do a little, live podcast.
That sounds so fun. Regardless of what extent it happens, it's got to happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah. We'll definitely do it because it's on Tuesday, 7:00. Be right in the middle of the thing.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Alrighty. That's it. Well, hey, great episode, huh? Great episode.
It was a good episode. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm liking the diversity that we're getting to have. Like every week, it's like something different, and we'll have 2 very different guests. And I'm enjoying it. So. Yeah.
Love it. All right, Kenya. Until next week.
Next Tuesday.
All righty. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. And we appreciate everybody's support. And we will see you next Tuesday. Bye now.